Why men obsess over sharp trash. The mundane reality. To the uninitiated observer, a pocket knife is a humble tool of utility. A simple wedge of sharpened steel used to open a stubborn bag of mulch or trim a loose thread. Most people view them as disposable items to be replaced only after they've been lost in the couch cushions or dulled beyond recognition by a decade of neglect. We, the self-proclaimed EDC enthusiasts, have evolved past such peasant logic. We've transformed a basic cutting implement into a sacred repository for our fiscal insecurities and a vessel for our dwindling saving. The super steel delusion, we look with genuine pity at the man carrying a generic hardware store folder. That innocent soul who is perfectly satisfied with a blade that actually cuts things. While they live in blissful ignorance, we treat these objects as totems of metallurgical purity. We've convinced ourselves that we need Magna Cut or M390 steel hardened to a specific HRC just to defeat the formidable adhesive of an Amazon package. Our community is driven by the delusion that a titanium frame lock with a ceramic ball detent will somehow fill the spiritual bankruptcy in our lives. The 4 stages of the descent. Stage 1. The Mall Ninja, defined by rainbow anodized blades and enough serrations to saw through a tank. This absolute wreckage of a subculture thinks a tactical thumb hole makes them a lethal operator. You're just an RGB-obsessed amateur waiting for the real shame to start. Stage 2. The Budget Beast. You start bragging about value and bang for your buck. You buy $10, $50 knives because they punch above their weight class, ignoring the fact that you now have $500 worth of budget clutter that you're too embarrassed to show on Instagram. Stage 3, Mustang. The Steel Snob. You start caring about heat treat charts and blade centering. You spend $300 on a knife just because the action is Drop-Shutty, essentially paying a premium for a fidget toy that can accidentally amputate your thumb. Stage 4. The Terminal Safe Queen. You spend $1,200 on a custom Damascus folder that is so expensive you're literally afraid to use it to slice an apple. You've achieved the peak of the hobby, owning a cutting tool that is legally forbidden from cutting anything. The Lexicon of the Damned. We use synthetic, pretentious language to describe flat pieces of metal. We call a knife slicey or ergo-friendly, borrowing terms from the culinary world to justify why we have 6 different versions of the same folding knife. We obsess over internal milling and pocket jewelry, which is just a theological dispute about how much weight we can remove from a handle before our ego collapses. Domestic noise pollution and financial coping. The knife hobby isn't a solitary vice, it radiates outward. We deal with the spousal ick, where our significant others describe our $600 grail as looking exactly like the one you bought last week. We engage in price obfuscation, telling partners we got it on the secondary market for a steal, instead of admitting the pocket clip cost more than the monthly grocery budget. We use the emergency survival argument, claiming we need a $400 fixed blade in the suburbs in case of a societal collapse, while the most dangerous thing we'll ever encounter is a particularly thick zip tie. The conclusion: the void. The endgame realization hits when you finally buy that custom folder you've been chasing for 3 years and it just feels fine. You realize you're just the snake eating its own tail, forever buying the next blade to fix the flaws of the last. You return to the forums for the next drop because this hobby was always just a $900 distraction from the void. But hey, don't let me stop you. Go ahead and refresh that tracking page for your next grail delivery. We both know that a slightly smoother ceramic detent is the only thing standing between you and total enlightenment. Put the blade away and try to remember what a normal person uses to open a letter. I'm signing off. Stay sharp, or whatever other lie helps you sleep tonight.